Tournament Director has a few features that are only available to subscribers. The principle behind this is that if you're simply running the odd game here and there, then you'll have all the features you need in the free-to-download version. If you run a regular game, then you definitely benefit from having the subscriber version. So I'm going to go through those additional features now. Here's the home screen, and as you can see, it's only showing the most recent 6 games. You can still look at the details of each of those games and still create a new game, but the home screen will only ever show you the last 6. Let me subscribe and you'll see all of those earlier games suddenly reappear. Some people like to keep the games list to a manageable number, for instance, this season's games, so subscribers can delete games. Just select the games you want to delete and then click on the delete button and they're gone for good. Which brings me on to import and export. You can export your database as a backup. You can then import these databases, for instance, if you are upgrading your phone and want to take your history with you. You might also find it useful to pass on a database to someone else to run your games while you're on holiday and still have a complete history of all your games. Next is the quick new game. You know how much information there is to fill in the game specification sheet, but if you're running the same game every week, you can long click on a game in the homepage list and you'll get a new version of the same game added to the list with today's date and an empty player list all ready for you to start. The next subscriber feature to mention is payout structures. When you set up a game, you choose a payout structure. And that payout structure determines the suggested payouts in the financial summary page. There are 3 structures provided, but as a subscriber, you can create your own. The payout structure is in the options menu. So when we bring that up, we can now see the 3 that come by default with TD. Now if I click on one of them, you can see the summary of what it looks like in that small payout structure. What this means is that if there are up to 2 players, then the first player will get 100% of the pot available. If there are more than 2 but up to 9 players, then the first player will get 66% of the payout and the second player get 34%, up to 18 players, etc. The last one is just to cover all, to cover anything greater than 18 players. But in reality, if there are more than 18 players and you didn't have that last line in play, it would continue to use this last payout structure for any number of players greater than 18 that were playing. So if that's what the small one looks like, then the medium one looks like this. Same format, and the large one is just an awful lot of payouts for there being an awful lot of players. It's up to you as the tournament director who's creating this payout structure to make sure that the sum of all of the percentages on any one line adds up to 100. If it doesn't, then you'll end up paying out more or less than is available in your pot. So take care over that. There are a couple of ways of creating a customized payout structure for your games, and probably the easiest way is to edit an existing payout structure. So if we look at the medium structure that's shown here and I choose edit, you can see that you can now add rows, change the payout values in terms of percentages for each of the lines. It's just a matter of editing them. I can take that one down to, I don't know, maybe 60 or something like that. Add a new row. Also, you can change the rounding specifically to this structure, so that when you see it in the financial summary page, it's limited as to how many digits of cents or pennies that you pay out to. And you can then either save it as the same name, or you can change the name and make it specific to maybe, I don't know, this is going to be used at the Rose, and we'll save it as that. So I'm going to save it and change that to be Rose. And then save that, and then you will see that the Rose has appeared down here, and that's got, well, pretty much the same, although we did change 60 there. That's pretty much the same as it was in the medium layout. And if you want, then you can edit that and change that and add rows and do anything you like to that as well. And the alternative way of creating a new payout structure is to use this feature at the top that creates an automatic one. Let's call it the crown. What this is an automatic creation of a complete set of lines. So let's say we want a typical maximum number of players in our weekly game of, I don't know, let's say it's going to be 50 players. And that you're going to pay out 10% of them. Now, and then the final point is this alpha. Now, this is a number you're going to have to play around with. 1.3 is a fairly low graduated curve, so that first place gets very similar to second place. Second place gets slightly more than third place, etc. If you were to make that much more severe, like 15, then you would have a first place gets a lot more than second place. So, and then you see, if I create that, it's created a crown for me, and it's created 5 rows because that's 10% of 50 players, and it says if they're up to 15 players, then you only pay out 100% to the first player. If there are 35 players, then half of the money goes to the first place and 31% goes to the second place, etc. You see what I mean? But that alpha then determines how steep that curve is. But it's a great way of creating something to start with and play with and see whether it suits what you require. So now you've created your structure and applied it to a game. While you're running your game in Timer View, you'll see that payout structure is applied to the amount of money available in the pot at the moment, so that people can see, if they can see this on screen, for instance, if it's cast onto a TV, people can see how much is available for first, second, third, fourth prize, etc. And finally, on a completely different subject, if we look at Manage Player List, when you're a subscriber, you get this extra facility here. That connects you to your phone's contacts list, which means you can populate this list of people from people who are already in your phone's contacts. Really useful, especially early on when you've got nobody in your players list, to be able to take people directly out of your phone and put them into your player list. And that's it for now. As always, if there's a feature that you think TD would benefit from and he hasn't got it, please let me know. And if not, then shuffle up and deal.